Hello and welcome to WTF, where we help you transform food in your kitchen. I'm Janie.
And I'm Roman.
And on this channel, we talk about unique ingredients, techniques, and show you new recipes for your kitchen. And today, in lieu of doing a recipe, we are covering, I would say, one of the most frequently asked questions that we get here in the test kitchen. And that question is, can I meat glue together my cured or dry aged meats? And I will say, if you're like, what's meat glue? This is meat glue. So meat glue is an enzyme that acts to glue together proteins, usually found in meats and fish. And it's a fantastic tool. We featured it tons of times, and it's a favorite amongst like kitchen chefs, I would say, across the spectrum. And a lot of times people want to use it in order to work with their cured meats, with their dry aged meats, and there's a lot of questions about that. And traditionally, we've always said, no, you have to do it. You have to glue everything together first because, you know, the process of curing and dry aging is going to denature the proteins. It's not going to work, so glue it together first. But we're like, you know, we've never run a comprehensive test on this. It's always just kind of based on what's common knowledge and what people have always said. So we said, why don't we run the test on a wide variety of different applications and show you today. You can see all these packages are sealed. We have not opened them, and we're going to do it on camera to show you definitively, can you glue together dry aged meats and or cured meats?
Yep.
So before we break into them, Roman, can you just kind of walk us through what do we have on this board in front of us? What are we looking at?
So we have a couple of different varieties of cured meats here. Over here we have our dried meat, and over here we have our dry cured meat.
Okay.
Okay. This is our control. So this is, you know, how it's supposed to work. And obviously these are the tests. And over here I have corned beef. These have been attempted to be meat glued in a couple different ways, dried and slurried, which slurry is, you know, mixed with water, and an attempt to, because once you dry the meat, you know, is it really going to stick together just by sprinkling another dry agent on it? I, you know, kind of think not. So we ran the gamut of tests to see if we could come up with something that would work.
Yes. So to start with, we're going to just start with first opening up our control, which is our standard meat glue together meat, no special processing. Just to show you, if you're not familiar with it, what exactly does dry aged meat look like?
All right, and over here I have our first.
All right, and is that our wet slurry or is that our dry cured?
This is our sprinkled, dry cured. Okay, and that, look at that, nice, it's seamless. You can barely see where it ends or begins.
Yeah, and then if you kind of try to pull it apart, nope, nothing's going to happen.
Nothing at all.
All right.
Like, I'm going hard too on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could, you know, I can tell where it is because I did this obviously, but if you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to tell exactly where that seam begins and ends. So that's our controls. That's a sprinkle. This one's our slurry, which is a mixture, 4 parts water to 1 part Moo Glue. And this one you can actually see the seam a little bit better. See where I attempted to. Yep,
but it's definitely still
holding.
So both are fine. Well. And this is kind of the baseline, right? So this is what we're looking for in the rest of these to see, can they withstand the tugging sensation? So that's kind of the main indicator about whether it's working or not.
Exactly.
And one thing I do want to kind of note, I know I just mentioned it, but I wanted to give the disclaimer, which is generally we recommend if you're going to be meat gluing meat together that after you meat glue it together, it should be somehow fully cooked, right?
Yes.
Or fully wet cured. Because if there's any type of bacterial contamination on the surface of the proteins that you are gluing together, that bacteria is going to get trapped and it might therefore spoil your food. So be careful. If you do use meat glue, you want to make sure that you are fully cooking that
100%.
protein.
100%. All right, so we're back and we have our corned beefs opened up. This one right here is corn slurried. This one right here is corn with a dry sprinkle. So these two are cut right down the middle and then glued back together using the sprinkle and slurry method. So these are the inside.
So the purpose, I believe, if I'm hearing you correctly, is trying to figure out is there a difference between the outside of, the exterior surface
Exactly.
after it's been corned in this
And then
case
the inside.
versus the inside, which might be quote unquote less processed.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's so moment of truth. Roman's gonna give them the old tug test.
All right, here we go.
That
So
didn't come out right.
here's the slurry.
Okay.
That's actually pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I'm surprised.
Oh, look
Wow.
at that.
Okay, so this is our slurry, corned. So that held up pretty well. Pretty well.
Okay.
So we'll put that right there. This is our sprinkle. Also,
Not bad.
not bad.
Not
like
bad. And how long did
I
you
know where
corn
the
this
seam is.
for? Yeah.
This is 24 hours.
Okay.
24 hours. This was corned for 9 days, and then after it's corned, I Moo Glued it for 24 hours. So
okay.
this is
so this protein has had a full chance
exactly
to be corned beef.
Exactly,
Okay,
and
no brining.
that's pretty good. I know where the seam is, but I can't even pull that apart. So that's actually pretty good.
That's actually pretty good. Again, you just want to make sure with this you want to cook it fully if you decide to go this way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now these pieces, well, we'll start with this one. This is the slurry. I cut it down the middle and then glued it back together to the inside. So this one actually, to me, feels more.
It looks more uniform.
Doesn't it? And I think it's because the inside, maybe the cure, the
doesn't penetrate as far.
the corn, it didn't get corned all the way through, and so it definitely, this looks like almost like a piece of meat.
9 days is enough time.
Right? Okay, so we'll put that right there.
Okay.
And then this one is a dry sprinkle, open. Again, really nice.
Yep, we got our first
that?
tear.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That one did
See?
not come apart. But interestingly, this one on the outside stuck together.
Stuck together. Okay, so that one, not as good.
Okay, so my recommendation would be if you decide, I would still do it first, but like if you decide you want to do it this way, you would want to go with the slurry method. It feels like
It looks like the slurry method worked the best.
Okay, interesting. All right, so we're going to cut open our next set of meats, and we'll be right back.
Okay, we have our dry cured meats. Just a simple dry cure of salt, sugar, and provolone powder.
Okay.
Okay. We'll start out with the first one, which is a dry cure slurry.
All right. And how long was this dry cured for?
This was dry cured for 9 days.
Okay.
Also.
And also meat glue for 24 hours.
And meat glued for 24 hours. And this.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Surprisingly.
I'm surprised. I can see where the seam is. I know where it is, and I can't really pull that apart. So that's actually,
very cool.
That's pretty
All right.
good. All right. So slurry right there.
Let's see.
All right. So dry cure.
Uh-oh.
That was like, so
Dry cure, that's dry.
That's
so dry cure with a dry sprinkle is no good.
It's no good. Okay. So we have our next is dry cure inside. So again, I cut down the middle. So we're gluing the inside, not the outside.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Not bad.
Held up very well here. So that means maybe there was enough moisture on the inside of it to hold it together.
Well, also this is the slurry.
Oh, and the slurry has come up very well.
Correct.
Okay.
The slurry method is proving superior to dry sprinkle method.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll go right there. Now this is our dry cure and sprinkle and.
Okay, so no good.
No good.
All right.
Even and you can see the inside of it is still pretty red. So that means there was moisture in there. Was it completely dry? And that came apart like super easy.
All right. So our conclusion here is if you're dry curing, you need the slurry method.
Slurry is the way to go. Which I'm actually surprised. I didn't think that would hold up that well as it has held up. So
but here it is, scientific evidence.
All right, so we're gonna open up the dry aged, and we'll come back with the results from that one too. Okay, last but not least is our dry aged cured beef. All right, so.
And how long were these dry aged for?
These were dry aged for 9 days.
Okay.
All right, so let's start off with our dry aged slurry method.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right.
Not bad.
Okay.
Wow, I am very shocked at these results. Okay, so this is a dry aged dry sprinkle.
Yep.
Again, same
right
results,
apart.
right? Results are pretty much the same. All right, this is our dry aged dry sprinkled inside cut. Oh.
Dry aged.
Dry aged sprinkled. Dry sprinkled.
Okay.
Okay. And dry age
slurry. Method. Okay.
And again, the slurry method is really tough.
All right.
Wow.
So this tells us a couple of things.
Wow.
And you know, this is the first time that we have opened all of these on camera.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is kind of news to us as well. So we can draw a couple of conclusions. Number one, the corning and the dry aging and the curing does not denature the proteins enough to avoid the effects of meat glue.
Correct.
And the second conclusion is if you are doing any of this after doing these methods, your wet slurry method is clearly the way to go.
It's by far, it's not even close actually. I thought it would be much closer, but it's not even close.
Yeah, and slurry method 4-to-1, 4 parts water to 1 part meat glue.
Yep.
You know, here you have the evidence. Hopefully this helps you as you're going along your journey of doing curing and you're wondering when to apply meat glue. Hopefully that clears that up because we do get a lot of questions about it. So we hope you found this helpful. Okay, so until next week, from here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen, I'm Janie.
And I'm Roman.
And we transform
food.